Once upon a time, in a cozy little neighborhood in the city of Rosario, Argentina, lived a boy with a ball at his feet and a fire in his heart. His name was Leo. Leo wasn't like other children in his village. He had an extraordinary gift. Although Leo didn't know, his magical journey started when he received a ball as a birthday gift when he was still a toddler. While other kids played with their toys, Leo's heart raced with joy every time he kicked a ball. From the moment he could walk, all he wanted was to play football. For every birthday, every Christmas, every holiday, all he ever asked for was a ball, his most treasured companion. But Leo was so small, and the older boys played rough. His brothers didn't want him to play with them. No one knew he was destined for something far greater than anyone could imagine. Once Leo touched the ball, the game changed. It was as if the ball knew it belonged to him. Among a close-knit clan who adored the game of football, young Leo played from dawn to dusk, his laughter echoing through Barrio Las Heras as he kicked a worn-out ball with his brothers and cousins. Love, laughter, and football were dancing in the air like fireflies in their friendly neighborhood. But there were no parks, gardens, or football pitches. This never stopped Leo. When the streets and the walls outside his house were not enough to satisfy his desire, little Leo would find himself sneaking into the abandoned military base nearby. The streets were dusty and the military base was full of rusty war machinery, but to Leo, they were the grandest stadiums in the world. Leo loved his grandmother Celia more than anyone else. She took care of Leo while his parents were at work. She wasn't only a passionate football fan but also his biggest supporter. She was the first to believe in him. She regularly took little Leo to the local football club Grandoli to watch his brother's matches when he was still too young to play himself. The elder brothers Rodrigo and Matias were chasing the ball like knights on quests while little Leo watched with wonder. On a Sunday, something magical happened. While Leo was at the stands waiting to watch the match with his family, an older boy from the team didn't show up. The coach approached the family and asked if he could play. Leo's mother didn't like the idea, but his beloved grandmother nudged him forward without hesitating one single second and convinced the coach to let him play. And just like that, Leo stepped onto the pitch at the age of 4 for the first time on that day and never looked back. The ball kissed his left foot, and suddenly he flew, twisting past every child on the field. Dancing with the wind, he scored again and again. He twinkled on the field like a star just beginning to shine. From that day forth, he became a player of Grandoli and was never left out of the team. He scored 5-6 goals in every match. Grandma Celia was little Leo's biggest cheerleader, always clapping from the sidelines, her eyes twinkling with pride. Every time Leo scored a goal, she would run to him with a wide grin, and she would lift him high into the air and say, "One day, my boy, the whole world will cheer your name." Leo believed her with all his heart. She saw something in him that even he didn't understand, yet something magical. She even once said to Leo, "You know what? You're going to be much better than them." And do you know why? Because no one ever knows. What you're thinking in this little head of yours is a real mystery. Listen to me. I promise you, you will be the best player in the world. As he grew, Leo trained harder than anyone else. He dreamed of playing for Argentina and becoming the greatest soccer player in the world. He would go to school, rush home, eat quickly, and run back outside, always with a ball, always chasing joy. By age 6, he joined Newell's Old Boys, a larger club in Rosario, and began playing on full-sized pitches. But his new club wasn't nearby. Leo and his grandma had to travel far, sometimes hours on buses, just to reach the place where he could train. But Leo never complained. No distance was too great for the chance to chase his dream. Rain or shine, sleepy or sore, he made the trip, guided by the echo of his grandmother's voice in his heart. "Keep going, Leo. Your star is waiting." And yes, hard work and commitment were paying off. He spun spells with his feet, scoring nearly 500 goals in just 6 years. But just when his tale was beginning to bloom, as all fairy tales must have, there came a shadow and two storms rolled in. Yet, as much as Leo loved to play, something still worried his family. The little boy remained much smaller than his fellow knights of the field. His tiny body was often weaker than other children's. He didn't run as fast, and sometimes he felt tired in the middle of the day. At age 10, Leo was diagnosed with a rare condition, a growth hormone deficiency that slowed his body's bloom. His dream now stood on shaky ground. He would need special care and treatment to grow strong enough to chase his dreams. His brave parents ventured far and wide to seek a cure. With the help of wise healers, Leo began a daily ritual. Painful injections of magical potions would awaken a sleeping hormone in his tiny body and help him grow. The journey was hard, but Leo never wavered. But this special treatment came at a cost too steep for his family to bear. The coins were few. His steelworker father's wage faded, and hopes began to flicker. Then came a heartbreak deeper than the tallest mountain. Just before his 11th birthday, his beloved grandmother, his fairy godmother of sorts, the key figure who helped little Leo to launch his football journey, passed away. Her love had been his guiding light. Leo's heart cracked, but from that pain grew a ritual of remembrance. From then on, after every goal, he would look to the heavens and point to the stars, whispering, "This one's for you." Despite all the negativities, Leo's family needed an urgent solution to find money for his treatment. His father desperately knocked on doors of clubs far and wide. Little Leo attended trials. Unfortunately, no one was willing to cover the cost of his treatment. Hopes were running out. But one day, a letter arrived from across the ocean, a whisper from a distant kingdom. The letter was sent from a place called Barcelona, where the skies were always blue and the stars seemed a little closer to the earth. It was a land of wonders, with tall castles, beautiful fields, and sparkling fountains. But most importantly, the magical city was known for its legendary soccer team. Barcelona was home to the greatest soccer players in the world, players who seemed to fly across the field with wings, their feet touching the ball like magic. Leo, a tiny kid from a faraway land, already attended and passed the trial of this legendary football kingdom with flying colors. But even so, not all were convinced. Although the wise and kind sporting director believed with all his heart in the Leo's gift, the wary and cautious elders of the club feared to place their hopes in one so small and so young. Days turned into weeks, and the decision hung in the air like a spell left unfinished. But the sporting director, determined not to let this rare spark of brilliance slip away, took a daring step, sending the letter. In a tale told time and time again, due to urgency, the fabled contract was written not on parchment nor scroll, but on a humble napkin, where the brave sporting director, with the stroke of a blue ink, etched his vow upon it, pledging his honor to support the boy's place in the realm. That enchanted napkin became a promise. Soon after, young Leo was summoned once more to the pitch for a test match, where he weaved through defenders like a sprite in a summer breeze. Coaches gasped, officials watched wide-eyed, and the doubts that once lingered melted away like snow under the morning sun. And so, the great kingdom of Barcelona opened its gates to him. Wise people of Barcelona agreed not only to cover the costs of his treatment, but to welcome his entire family into their enchanted city. It was the beginning of a tale that would echo through time, a tale of faith, courage, and the boy who would one day dance among the stars. And thus began a new chapter in a foreign land. 14 years old, Leo crossed oceans with his family to the faraway land of Barcelona. Soon after, he entered the enchanted gates of La Masia, Barcelona's famed academy of young legends. There, his light will begin to shine brighter than ever. This new kingdom was not kind at first. The language was strange and the smiles unfamiliar. The family got homesick, save for his father, and returned to Argentina. Leo was left in a realm where he was quiet as the moon, Lonely as a shadow, he had to fight against dragons of loneliness. La Masia was so promising, but full of trials. He had to face more and more challenges, just like a knight who must fight dragons to reach his castle. He could not play in real matches for months due to local rules. And when he finally did, an injury struck, snapping his leg like a twig and delaying his rise. But true heroes do not fall forever. With every step, Lionel grew stronger. His name became a melody in the air. With every goal, defenders spun helplessly in his wake. And soon, he was the heartbeat of Barcelona. Sometimes, he was told he was too small. Sometimes, he was told his body wouldn't be strong enough to play the game he loved. His voice was so soft, some thought he could not speak at all. But Leo never listened to the doubters. He knew that with hard work and determination, he could break through any wall that stood in his way. And so, he trained. Every day, he practiced for hours, running through the fields, kicking the ball as if it were the most precious thing in the world. He trained like a warrior of dreams, his every touch more magical than the last. The magic of his passion shone through his every move, making him faster, stronger, and more graceful. He could see the ball in ways that no one else could. It was as though the ball followed his command, like a loyal steed following its knight into battle. One day, as Leo played with his ball in the fields, a kind old coach named Johan approached him. He saw the fire in Leo's eyes and noticed how the boy could control the ball, making it dance at his feet. Johan knew that Leo had something rare, a special spark that couldn't be ignored. "Do you want to be part of something bigger than your dreams, little one?" Johan asked. With a smile, Leo nodded. "I want to play with the stars," he said, his voice filled with determination. From that day forward, Leo's life began to change. The club agreed to cover the cost of his treatment. He joined a team of young players, where he was taught not only how to play, but how to believe in himself, how to really believe that no dream was too big. And though his body was smaller than the others, his heart was bigger than any field, and his feet moved with the speed of lightning. Years chased each other. When Lionel Messi was finally ready, the grand moment arrived. The king of the land known as the coach of Barcelona came to the fields and chose Leo to play with the greatest of the great. At first, the other players were skeptical. "He's too small," they whispered. But when Leo stepped onto the grand stage, the hallowed field where the stars played, something magical happened. Leo's feet moved faster than anyone had ever seen. The ball swirled and danced like it was alive. With every kick, Leo seemed to defy the laws of gravity. He was unstoppable. He was a whirlwind, a force of nature, and he quickly became known as the little giant of Barcelona. Every time he scored a goal, it felt like magic. The crowd would cheer, their voices rising like a wave of thunder. And, in the heart of the field, Leo would smile, knowing that he was fulfilling his destiny not just to play, but to inspire others to chase their own dreams, no matter the obstacles. As the years passed, Leo's fame spread across the lands. He became a hero to children everywhere, a symbol of hope for anyone who dreamed big. He played at FC Barcelona between 2000 and 2021. After his long career in Spain, he spent 2 years in France playing for Paris Saint-Germain, and in 2023, he transferred to Inter Miami of the United States. He won the Ballon d'Or 8 times, the most in history. He won 10 La Liga titles and 4 Champions League titles with Barcelona. He is the all-time top scorer for Barcelona, La Liga, and Argentina. He won an Olympic gold medal in 2008 at the Beijing Olympics. He won Copa America in 2021 and ended Argentina's 28-year trophy drought. Lionel grew. He soared. He scored more than 800 goals, won many trophies, and broke records. But one dream always lingered: to win the World Cup for his homeland, Argentina. Years passed, filled with hope and heartbreak. And then, on a shining December day in 2022, his dream came true. In a dazzling dance of courage and unity, Argentina lifted the Golden World Cup again after 36 years. The boy, who was once too small, became a giant in the eyes of the world. But the true magic of Leo's journey wasn't just about the goals he scored or the trophies he won. It was about the message he shared with the world that no matter how small you are or how many challenges you face, you can achieve greatness if you believe in your dreams. He still returns to Rosario when he can, still drinks with his mates, still plays football with friends, and still remembers the boy he once was. Because no matter how far he's come, Leo has never stopped playing for the love of the game. For sure, the hidden hero behind this legacy was Grandma Celia. She died when Leo was 11 years old, but Leo never forgot her. Every time he scores a goal, he points to the heavens to pay tribute to her. And so, the tale of Leo the little giant spread far and wide, from village to village, from kingdom to kingdom. The boy from Barrio Las Heras became a legend. His story passed down through the ages, inspiring children to chase their dreams, to work hard, and to never give up. Because just like Leo, every child has a spark inside them, waiting to shine bright. And they all lived happily ever after, knowing that if they followed their hearts, they too could make their dreams come true. And so, Messi's tale became a legend, a story told by starlight, a beacon of hope, proving that even the tiniest spark can light up the universe. If you want to watch more inspiring stories, please comment, leave us a like, and more importantly, don't forget to subscribe to our channel.